Just touch base and let them know
Okay,
what you
chapter
do.
7, let's go ahead and get started. Can I get everybody to stand for Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
Ethan, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
to the
and to the republic from which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. If you would just stay standing for just a moment. Lord above, we come here this evening to support our city with a group of us doing our best to make life better for our residents, businesses, and visitors. Our city staff and emergency services work well to help us accomplish that primary goal of providing a safe and productive atmosphere for that to happen. Please help us to continue with that effort. On this cold return to winter, I ask that you help people who need the shelter to find it. Our chief of police and others in a recently formed community group have worked diligently to provide a warm and safe place within the local Salvation Army Center for people in need to take shelter on such cold nights. Please help them to find it. In your name, I ask these things. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all. Please have a seat. Welcome tonight. Nice crowd. Before we do a whole lot more, I'd like to introduce Ethan. Come on up. Ethan Greer from Troop 501. I visited with Ethan just a minute ago, and we both were in Troop 430. It turns out he was the last survivor of Troop 430 at Fox Elementary. I was in the junior high when I was in Troop 430. I was in the Woodsman group. So anyway, he's working on his citizenship in the community badge, and with your applause, I guess, let's welcome him and tell him definitely. Thank you for coming to us tonight. Okay, and let us know if we can help you in any way. Thank you. Tammy, if you would conduct a roll call vote. City Council.
Bill Moritz,
I'm here.
Michael Rethmeyer,
Here.
Brian MacArthur,
Here.
Gary Plunk,
Here.
EJ Fleischman,
Here.
Tim Seidenstricker,
Here.
Troy Blackshear,
Here.
Peggy Allen. Here. Rodney Mullins,
Here.
Anthony Traxler,
Here.
Sarah Turner, Bill Lehman,
Here.
Bob Sweeney,
Here.
Dave Crutchley, James Pogozowski,
Not here.
Dan Krupa,
Excused.
Chief Carroll.
Here.
Our business from the floor. Anyone in the audience who wishes to address the city council on any matter of city business may come forward to the microphone. Please note that you must be physically present in the city council chamber. You can't call on Zoom and talk to the city council. Participation in the Zoom is not permitted. When you come forward, please state your name and your address for the record. Before speaking, you'll be allowed 3 minutes to present your comments, and this will be your only chance to talk before the city council this evening. It looks like we have a few people who'd like to speak tonight.
Nathaniel Brooks.
Good evening, council. Nathaniel Brooks.
Move that thing to you if you need
Sorry.
to.
My name's Nathaniel Brooks. I live at 3313 Vineclad Hill, which is in the Henley Woods subdivision. And that's what I'm here to talk about tonight. I was hoping James was here. I wanted to go over the stormwater punch list and where we were. Currently, we're still paying for snow removal. And it's our understanding that until the punch list is taken care of, the city will not take over the duties of cleaning our streets. So
Correct.
I guess we're still waiting on that. The other thing that was brought up in our HOA meeting was a biobasin, which is a new term that I have never heard of. It's I guess it's a stormwater collection. We currently have children that are playing in there right now. I just want to make sure that's safe for them. Should they be in there? Do we need to tell their parents to keep them out? And it hasn't been completed yet. It's not even a biobasin yet. It's just a dirt hole in the middle of our cul-de-sac.
A lot of times those may just be like sandy or suitable soils. It may just allow water to permeate quicker. We can take a look at that. I'll talk to James and we'll get back to you. I'm not sure what that specific biobasin is, the
Right.
construction is, but we will look into that and get a hold of you tomorrow, sir.
Okay, because I was also concerned about the cost of maintaining those biobasins. I heard it's pretty expensive. So if that's something that our residents are going to be charged with, we need to know budget for it. So, and was it an agreement between the city and I guess it was Payne at the time, now Fisher, that owns the land, that those would be put in? Is that something that's mandatory here in the city of Arnold? Is there other biobasins in the city that we could look at and kind of grasp what we're looking at?
We can get it.
We have to find out.
Okay.
Where is this thing at, by the way? I know where Henley Woods is.
It's on Vineclad Hill at the end of the cul-de-sac. It's right in the middle of the cul-de-sac is what they're calling a
Right.
biobasin.
It's not that big ugly cul-de-sac that's got the 3 drains into it, is there?
That's it. That's the one. So,
Small coincidences being what it is. My daughter put a contract on that house that's for sale on the bottom of that, so
oh, really?
she did.
Okay. I think that's all I have for today. I appreciate you guys' time.
We'll find out, sir.
Thank you.
Brad?
Evening, Brad Carey, 1622 Carly Drive, Arnold. We're finally here. It's been a while. 6.5 months later, I'm glad to see that the ordinance is on for building code 500.114 and getting this changed, updated. It's a step in the right direction towards making things better and more pronounced. So I appreciate your vote, a yes on change the ordinance. See y'all later. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Candace Greer,
So, Candace Greer, 80 Hickory Bluff Lane. Figure while I'm here with my son, I might as well, I've been intending to bring this to the council's attention. So the first thing is, we have a lot of cars parked alongside the street on Hickory Manor, and it's causing traffic problems. These people have no cars in their driveway. They're just parking on the street, and it's causing traffic congestion issues coming up and down the street. I was wondering, I mean, if we have to make that no parking on both sides, it would greatly help. Those people are complaining of people speeding up and down the street. I don't see how that's happening with all those cars parked there. And I mean, if they're worried about people speeding and hitting their kids, they should be more worried about people coming down the hill and not being able to see the kid run between the cars. The second thing that I'd like to ask is, in front of Oak Bridge Church on Sunday mornings, when you go from Richardson Road towards Vogel, and they're letting the church out, they cone off the right lane so those church people can leave and go directly onto the highway. That wouldn't be such a big deal, except that those church people, if you're a person that's actually going on Richardson needing to get on the highway, those church people don't let you get over to get on the highway. So can we not do that anymore and just leave it both lanes and then they just block the traffic and that's their opportunity to exit?
We do block that for about 10 minutes, and that is a safety issue. If we didn't block that lane, we would have multiple traffic accidents. Both of these gentlemen have worked this secondary in the past. I personally have not. But if we didn't block that, that would be a concern. Since we do block that one lane, we've had 0 accidents. I do understand it is a bit of an inconvenience for a few minutes, but
They
it
don't
is-
let you over. When I come down there, they won't let me over to get onto 55. You know, it's a problem. And, you know, it's avoiding the accident because they won't let me over. I have to go up and then turn around and then come back. And
that's something I can address with the staff at the church.
I'd appreciate that.
You bet.
And then the third issue that I have is, I know that marijuana is legal. I don't care if people smoke it and that. But everywhere we go, and especially by my house, I have a neighbor that smokes it all the time. It's to the point that on certain days, I cannot even open my windows without that smell permeating through my house. You know, we go to restaurants, you walk by, people are smoking it outside the restaurants and that. Is there something we can do about that? You know we have the no smoking ordinances inside the restaurants and that. But I mean, with the people having marijuana in their vapes and stuff, they're just smoking it all over. And it's a smell that I shouldn't have to deal with. I shouldn't have to explain to my son what a drug smells like, you know?
Yeah, I would agree with you. You can call us on something like that, and we can take enforcement action.
Because it was so bad the one day that my neighbor, I'm a corner lot, and my neighbor, it's the neighbor before me, before the corner, and my other neighbor came down the other street. She could smell all the way between the houses. It was so thick in the air. And it's something that, it's citizens that don't smoke it, why should we have to put up with all the smell in that? I mean, it's not the best smell.
Get it?
I just,
Thank you, Mr. Greer. But, Mike,
I had a question just regarding, you talked about the cars parking on the side of the street and they don't park on their driveways. Do you have any bylaws that stipulates that you can't park in the street?
No, we don't have as a trustee, there's nothing in bylaws, and it is up to the trustees to try to enforce it or to try to tell them not to park there, but they won't do it because guess where the trustees live? On the main drag, and they're parking on the street. So, but it is causing a lot of traffic headaches, especially when they all park there and then you get a service vehicle on the other side because they have nowhere to park across from the house to service that house across the street. So it causes a lot of traffic nightmares and it's getting progressively worse.
Hickory Man, I think you're in Ward 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, you can walk down and there's been instances where there's been 8, 10 cars parked in a row all the way down and it's along that curve and that, and it's
It's a problem.
a problem.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Greer. Okay, Tammy, consent agenda, would you please read the consent agenda?
Items on tonight's consent agenda are council meeting minutes from December 18th, 2025. Payroll warrant number T00960 and the gross pay amount of $509,211.66. General warrant number 5897 and the total pay amount of $260,661.68. And general warrant number 5898 and a total pay amount of $544,651.31.
You guys have no comments? Can I get a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion, sir.
Gary, a second, please.
I'll second.
Michael? Roll call vote.
Michael Reithmeyer,
Yes.
Brian MacArthur.
Yes.
Gary Plum.
Yes.
EJ Fleischman.
Yes.
Tim Seidenstricker,
Yes.
Troy Blackshear,
Yes.
Peggy Allen. Yes. Rodney Mullins,
Yes.
8 yeas.
We're up to ordinances. Bill 2919. You'd read that, please.
Bill number 2919, an ordinance amending chapter 500, building and building regulations of the Arnold Code of Ordinances to revise amendments to adopted technical codes related to occupancy permit regulations. Or I'm sorry, requirements.
You get to read that again in a minute. Sarah, could you please explain that?
Absolutely. So at the October 2025 work session, I gave a presentation regarding some overly complicated language regarding our amendments to the International Building Code, specifically to the International Property Maintenance Code. So we already had the requirement for needing an occupancy permit at a change of ownership or tenant. But that language was overly complicated. So essentially, this is just specifically changing the language there to simplify and clarify what we are asking for our procedure. There aren't any major changes to the interpretation. It's just to make this clearer for both staff and residents of what we're expecting.
Okay, very well. Any comments or questions from the city council? Go ahead,
Just a
EJ.
brief comment. Thank you, Sarah, for working on this and bringing, working with our constituents and bringing this forward. I think, sometimes when it comes to the building and different stuff, like it gets overwhelming and the different things. And so I think the simplification is a great, process forward, and anything we can continue to do to simplify the process, make it easier to understand. I talk to constituents all the time and they bring questions to me and I'm like, you got to ask the professionals because it is complicated to understand on any of this. So I do appreciate, you and the staff to work to help simplify this and appreciate it. So.
Anybody else? Michael?
Did you reword this for a specific reason? Was the interpretation coming across different way or?
It was a little onerous.
That's a great question. So, and I'll just go ahead. Brad Carey did a lot of work in letting us know that there are ways to read our previous or current code at this point, code where essentially the intention was there. There were good intentions there, but the way that the previous code was worded was very broad, trying to be a catch-all for any situation where there can be a change of occupancy or tenant. But it ended up reading that someone who, for instance, is getting a remortgage would need to get another occupancy permit, which is not the way that we interpret or want this to be interpreted, of course. So the goal of this change is to simplify that language, to be clearer with our expectations and to not be so overly vague and broad, to get straight to the point of what we need when that occupancy permit is required. And of course, consistent with our current procedures.
So my understanding from talking to you is this was intended with the best of intentions, but it became just too onerous. So there's just too much out there. And Brad, thank you for catching it and bringing it up. It isn't terribly fast process, but it's here tonight. So Tammy, if you'd read it for the second time tonight.
Bill number 2919, an ordinance amending chapter 500, buildings and building regulations of the Arnold Code of Ordinances to revise amendments to adopted technical codes related to occupancy permit requirements.
Once again, anybody have anything to say? Roll call vote if you would, please.
Michael Rathmeyer,
Yes.
Brian MacArthur,
Yes.
Gary Plunk.
Yes.
EJ Fleischman.
Yes.
Tim Seidenstricker,
Yes.
Troy Blackshear,
Yes.
Peggy Allen,
Yes.
Rodney Mullins,
Yes.
8 yeas.
All right, resolutions, we're up to resolution number 26-02, second one this year.
Resolution number 2602, a resolution appointing and reappointing individuals to serve on various terms with different expiration dates.
Anthony, if you would please, sir.
Sure, this resolution does two things. It appoints Jason Fulbright to the Planning Commission to serve the roughly 2 years left on a 4-year term. Chairperson Andrew Sutton is retiring from the commission after 16 years of service on that commission. And second, it reappoints Tourism Commission member Andrew Sophia to reappoints for a 3-year term.
I'm sorry, what board was that for Jason Albright? I didn't-
Planning Commission.
Planning Commission.
Mhm.
Jason's in the audience. Thank you for coming tonight, sir. Any comments or questions? You guys all know, we've done these before. Can I have a motion?
Gary had something.
Gary?
Thank
Oh.
you picked the right person, sir.
Which one? Anthony or
Jason.
Drew? Sorry, Jason or Drew? Okay. Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion for approval in a second?
I'd like to make a motion for approval.
Tim? Need a roll call vote, please.
Michael Rathmeyer,
Yes.
Arthur.
Yes.
Gary Plunk,
Yeah.
EJ Fleischman,
Yes.
Tim Seidenstricker,
Yes.
Troy Blackshear,
Yes.
Peggy Allen.
Yes.
Rodney Mullins,
Yes.
8 yeas.
Unanimous, Jason. They like you. Can you hang around for after the meeting? We'll do the swearing in part, get that out of the way. Okay, a motion to approve liquor licenses. I guess you didn't have anything tonight?
Nothing from the
All right, I need to hold a closed session tonight. Tammy, would you please read that motion?
A motion to hold a closed session immediately following the city council meeting for the purpose of discussing litigation in real estate pursuant to RSMO 610.021, paragraphs 1 and 2.
Okay, I'd like to have a motion and a second to go into closed session after this meeting, please.
I'll make the motion.
Gary,
Second.
need a roll call vote, please.
Michael Rathmeyer,
Yes.
Tim MacArthur,
Yes.
Gary Plunk,
Yes.
EJ Fleischman,
Yes.
Tim Seidenstricker,
Yes.
Troy Blackshear,
Yes.
Peggy Allen. Yes. Rodney Mullins.
Yes.
8 yeas.
Okay, we're up to reports from the mayor and council. I don't have much to say except for I know we're coming up into election season and you're gonna start seeing a lot of signs and people knocking on your doors. And the important message is, it doesn't matter who your candidate is, please come out and vote. I'm anxiously watching to see what happens, so thank you all. David, I'm waiting to hear your news about that big move you guys made this week, so. Rodney, if you go for city council?
I have nothing to report tonight.
Altogether, nothing. Okay. Brian?
Yeah, the only thing, some of you might have gotten well, I mean, everybody did. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. One of the planning commission members, Sarah Larkins, had sent everybody an email about a filling station that's down there close to the river there. And, she has some concerns. I didn't get a much chance to look at it really close. It's been kind of busy week for me. And, but I really like a lot I agree with a lot of it. So I told Sarah I'm going to look it over this weekend and make suggestions. I think we should make some changes when it comes to us. I know normally we don't do that, but I think this is a conditional use permit. This is the time to make sure that it's more modernized, and kind of what they wanted to do was just kind of slap some paint on it and, repair some things and move on. But I don't think I think Sarah's correct. And so I'll kind of give Sarah some of my stuff, and I think we'll bring that up.
Well, that's gonna come before the city council
Yeah,
meeting,
when
the
it comes
first
to the city
weekend,
council.
first meeting in
Yep.
February.
Yep.
For you guys that don't know about this, it's the Gulf Station that's down across from Starling Airport Road. They're looking to get back in business. So,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the back in business, but they need to kind of,
Do it right.
yep, do it right and spruce it up some. So,
Understand.
that's it.
all right, Troy,
No report.
no report. Well, we had a long,
Okay, well, I
no,
gave
it's just,
an idea, was we are talking about that road back there where along the railroad tracks for the second exit out of the park. And there is a path that runs along the river back there, the creek, there's a creek back there. It would be interesting to get ourselves a bike path going through there. There's a path already existing. It's all basically knocked down. It's just basically needs to be filled in with some
purpose.
what would you call that, gravel, like Katy Trail, make it into Katy Trail. The purpose of it also would be a connection to that road. So a lot of your speed bikers come down Starling and they'll come up Starling all the way to Jeffco, right? So they'll come off there, they'll exit there, take the pier view down, cut through and then get themselves into the park so they can go around the park a couple times and come out. So that would be another way that path for them to, people want to ride their bike up through there and whatever, it's just another way of, another bike path we can have in the park.
Yep. Troy presented this to me tonight. It was an interesting idea, so I think we need to look at it. Michael?
I want to congratulate EJ and Rodney. They're running for office again, and they're running unopposed, so they'll be doing another 2 terms, another term, another 2 years. And I think we're going to keep 2 good councilmen on the council with us. That's all I have.
Thanks. EJ?
Yeah, yes. I don't know if it's, with the new year but I've received from a few constituents, I guess they're trying to eat healthier or something here because I've been reached out by a few constituents about a community garden or the idea on a community garden. I've done a little bit of research on this. I'm aware that I know, and I was going to ask you, Tim, I'm sorry. I noticed at one point, St. John's Church had a community garden that was open to the public. And I know some of that land, if not all, has, been sold. So I haven't been able to reach out to church to see what their plans are. But I just kind of wanted to, I think that's a kind of a neat idea, brings people together and continue to do some research on that. And I don't know if that would be like Parks Department or wherever, but I have had several constituents reach out to that recently. So apparently that's all the rage nowadays. So
Um,
We had a community
yeah, I was
garden a
gonna
few
say, we
years
did,
ago.
yeah. Mhm.
So,
It didn't work out too well, but maybe
Shipments,
somebody
yeah.
else can take it over. And I mean, that's kind of what happened. It was a
Yeah.
big thing. And then people kind of lost interest. Nobody wanted to keep it up. I think
Yeah.
it was over off of Londell, back over, or no,
no, it was where the archery park is what I thought, wasn't it?
no, there was another one that was over off of Londell, over by the apartments and things
Oh.
over there when you go around, yeah, I mean, it was back up in there. So you might kind of want to look, because I mean, we had kind of did that. So maybe do some research to what we did before and maybe you can kind of look to see what went wrong. And
That was the idea of,
yeah, it was a cool idea.
that was the idea of Ward 2 councilwoman at the time, Michelle Homeyer, so.
Yeah.
Worked out in the long run. All you got, EJ?
I think that's all I
Tim?
have.
Yeah?
The National Weather Service is predicting 1 to 2 inches of snow tonight, so everyone be careful and be safe on the
Oh
roads.
my God, is it April 1st already?
Oh, no, that's,
No,
that's for real.
9 o'clock. Yep, coming in at 9 o'clock.
No, that's,
Nothing much.
unfortunately, that's for real, but
Right.
hopefully not, because we have school tomorrow and we have important stuff to learn. Our youth, right? To our student out there. Don't want to miss school tomorrow. And welcome back, my fellow former council member Fulbright. Congratulations on your appointment, and I know you do a good job. And that's all.
Peggy?
Hi, I know Dave's going to talk about this, but I ran into Kenny Moss today. So naturally, what did we talk about?
The move?
Fireplace going down to the farmer's market. It was really a good idea. I would like to suggest something for the next work session. I'd like to propose that we look into a feasibility study to possibly put a latchkey program together over at the rec center for kids after school. Daycare is hard to come by and it's hard to find responsible people. And perhaps we can do something to help the community with Fox School. I noticed today, I didn't know this, they have a director of childcare. It was an opening and I'm going, well, that would be perfect to go to with this latchkey program. So can we put that on a work session?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Get us some information and get with
I
Anthony
will.
for the next one. Gary?
Well, don't have much to report, but Brian, Patty, Peggy, and myself, we're running up for reelection too, so we all have a good, interesting campaign between now and then.
Very well.
Okay.
Thank you. City staff, Bill Lyman,
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
Anthony,
No report.
Amy,
Just a reminder that City Hall will be closed Monday for Martin Luther King Day.
Chief Carroll.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. James is not here. David?
Yeah, I would like to thank Ken Moss from Fireside Hearth and Home for the donation of that fireplace that sat out back on 141 there. It was a lot of planning, but we made it. We were going to float it down. It was too tall to go down through the lights, and then we ended up using the wheel loader. And Chief, a couple of your guys had, it almost looked like a parade going on. It was so long, so slow, but it made it down to the farmer's market in one piece. And here, probably in the next 3 or 4 months, we'll be building that new structure, and that will be a kind of a centerpiece for it. So repurpose it instead of it getting dozed.
I sent Kenny a note thanking him, and he's got a lot of things going on. He's got a broken foot too. He's trying to get out of his building this week, so.
And we bought, I think it was about $2,000 we spent at his place. We got over 20
Racks.
large racks for pallets, 2 large heaters that hung from his inside there, bunch of hand tools. So once again, pennies on the dollar we spent for that. So we'll put it to good use.
It's a darn shame what happened to that shop. I mean, that was one of the prettiest
Pretty
streets.
crazy inside when you look at it, yeah.
That tornado was quite devastating. And even next door to it, the pasta house still isn't open.
Yep.
Read their story. Thank you, Dave. Bob Sweeney? Sarah?
I have a few things. So first, I also want to wish farewell to Andrew Sutton from the Planning Commission. He's been an awesome chairman for the time that I've been here, and of course, the last 16 years. But I do wish a warm welcome to Jason Fulbright to that board. We also, I just wanted to report to the council that our animal control department has been cooperating with the Jefferson County Animal Department. There have been quite a few people in unincorporated areas of the county that are being routed to us, even though we can't help them as not being inside of the city. So I just want to let you know that we are kind of working with the county on making sure that that everyone has the facilities and support that they need to of course, help the animals in our community. And then I also just wanted to kind of finally to let you know, of course, at Fox Chase Apartment Complex, you all have seen that very front building. It has been in pretty rough condition. They've been dealing with their insurance. We've also been working with them on getting various engineering reports, and I just kind of wanted to let you know that a remodel permit has been approved this week. So hopefully we will be seeing some positive development on that end.
Yep, that's the first thing people see when they come into town. So I'm looking for that one going forward. Thank you, Sarah. At this time, we're going to take about a 10-minute break before we go into closed session. So thank you all for coming tonight. Jason, could